In the name of God, the beneficent, the merciful. Master of this day, a judgment which we now stand. And these alone do we serve, and these alone do we beseech for aid. Guide us along the right path upon those who brought down, nor who goes astray. And I bear witness that there is no God, but the only God, brothers and sisters. We come here today because this is a day of announcement. That the day a decision has come and you got a decision to make. Now, the Mother Plains is here, and the falling of America continues. See, the motherships is here to destroy this present world. And my brothers and sisters, Trump says there's some strange things that's happening in our skies. But the motherships comes through Earth gravity. And when it comes 40 miles through Earth gravity, it can produce its oxygen. It can produce its hydrogen. The mother plane comes on Earth when it can produce its own power. Now, the white man knows that this is not a plane to be played with. Other planes come out of the motherships. See, in the 1930s, the Canadian newspaper report seeing the mother plane. 1947, during the Roswell incident, they seen the mother planes. What's up, my brother? So what the government failed to tell you, Congress kept 30 years. But I'm here to say, brothers, they are here. But why do Trump says shoot them down? So we're going to go get started. Thank you guys for tuning in. And we're going to get started with another live. Why they can't explain this to you. They have no knowledge of it. But the motherships, they're not like their little bullets and cameras that they have. And I want to say this because they're not here to drop bombs on the water, but on the city. Most of you guys went off the line because you got scared. You seen the movie Independence Day. Just think, brothers, I want you to think for a second. If America got, all the equipment that they have, right? She can destroy continents 30 times and still has something left. See, why they, visiting foreign countries, brothers and sisters, you not knowing what's going on. And when he's like a hated bird now, he goes out now. He goes out to associate all the problems. Once you realize all the trouble he even created, he started. Now he goes to foreign countries trying to find a way to make peace. After all the years of making trouble. So now we're gonna talk about this white man. That there's no heaven waiting. And see, his plan is to take the fallers into the fall of America. And this is why I want to go on and tell you why the motherships is here and why the mother planes are here. The mother planes was made to destroy this world of evil and to show the wisdom and mighty powers of God who came to destroy an old world and set up a new world. The nature of a new world is righteousness. The nature of a new world cannot be righteousness as long as unrighteousness is in its midst. The same type of plane was used by the original God to put mountains on this planet. Allah God, who came in the person of Master Fala Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever, is wiser than any God before him, as the Bible and the Holy Quran teach us. He taught me that this plane will be used to raise mountains on this planet Earth. The mountains that he will put on this earth will not be very high. He will raise these mountains to a height of 1 mile over the United States of America. This reminds us of the prophet prediction at this time of destruction of the old world and the bringing in of a new world. Behold, the Lord makes the earth empty and makes it waste and turn it upside down and scatter the inhabitants thereof. The Bible, Isaiah 24, verse 1. There are planes at various nations today, but this is the mother of them all. Why? Because this is type plane was used before the making of this world. Why should God make such a sign of his power to destroy a nation? Because this is the final destruction of that people who have opposed it, God, and its purpose and aim for justice and righteousness. The white race is not a people who was made righteous and then turned to unrighteousness. It was made unrighteous by the false God who made them. Allah God, who came in the person of Master Fard Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever, taught me that this plane is capable of reaching a height of 40 miles above the earth. His word could have been a sign meaning 40 years in which the plane will go into action, and not referring actually to 40 miles. Allah God does not speak one word that does not have a meaning. Every word that he speaks has a meaning. The mother plane, according to what have been described of by the devil scientists, is capable of not only staying up for a long period of time, but also capable of alluring the scientists. They won't attack and destroy it. If a plane did get close enough to attempt to carry out this purpose, it will be destroyed instead. The white men have learned that this is not a plane to be played with. Planes come out of the mother planes. In the 1930s, the Canadian newspaper reported that they saw the whale, the mother plane. It came down out of the sky. They admitted that it looks like a great city, and that something came down from it and appears to be a tube, but that tube thing went back up again. Allah God, who came in a person of Master Fard Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever, taught me that the 6 months to a year, the mother plane come into gravity of the earth. It takes on oxygen and hydrogen in order to prevent it to stay out of Earth gravity until it needs refueling again. Ezekiel prophecy of the will. Ezekiel saw the mother plane in a vision. According to the Bible, he looked up and saw this plane. Ezekiel 1:16. And he called it a wheel because it was made like a wheel. A plane that is wheel shaped can turn in any direction at any time. He admitted that the plane was so high that it looks dreadful. And he cried out, "O will." Ezekiel chapter 10:13. Ezekiel saw great works going on in a wheel and 4 living creatures. And the work was as it were a wheel in the middle of a wheel. Ezekiel chapter 10:13. Ezekiel saw great works going on in a wheel and 4 living creatures. And the work was as it were a wheel in the middle of a wheel. Ezekiel 1:16. And when the living creatures went, the wheel went with them. And when the living creatures was lifted up from the earth, the wheel was lifted up. Ezekiel 1:19. The power of the lifting up of the 4 creature was in the wheel. The 4 creature represent the 4 colors of the original people of the earth. There are 5 great powers of the nations of the earth. These 5 great powers are the black, brown, yellow, red, and white. Are the 4 original powers. The red is not an equal power. The vision shows the 4 creatures being lifted up from the earth. And when the wheel was lifted up, they was lifted up. And when the wheel stood, they stood. This means that they rode upon the movement of the wheel. In Ezekiel's vision concerning the wheel, he says that he heard the voice of one tell the others to take hold of fire and scatter it over the city. This means bombs. It could mean fire too, however. The plane is to drop bombs which will automatically be timed to bore quickly to a position of 1 mile below the surface of the earth without time to explore. Allah God taught me that these bombs are not to be dropped into the water. They are to be dropped only on the city. It will be the work of the will. The will is the power of the four creatures, namely the four colors of the black man: the black, brown, yellow, and red. The red Indians is the benefit also for the judgment of the world. We must remember that God comes to separate from the righteous that which is hindering the righteous from making progress, and to destroy the effect of the poison of that which has opposed the righteous. The effect of the poison will be fully destroyed at the destruction of the source of the poison which has poisoned the righteous. It is like one being bitten by a rattlesnake quickly. Medication is administered in order to minimize the effect of the poison upon flesh and blood until a complete cure is effected and the patient is well again. It is useless to try to ignore the Ezekiel vision of the will for the make and destructive work of the will was foretold before it came to pass. Disbelievers believe that which he see present and not that which is prophesied to come. That is why he is to lose us and take the course to hell, because disbelief in that which is prophesied to come about a particular day. This is what the enemy is trying to do today with the black man. He is fastening him with sport and play and then doing the evil to keep him from going to the God who is present. You never thought the day would come when you see your wife and mother, an old grave-headed woman, walking down the streets today, half nude. A few years ago, they would not have dared to come out into the public like that, but now they do so because the devil has put his improve on this kind of entire. They desire to please the devil. They do whatever the devil bid them to do. The devil desired to take the black man with him to his doom. Let us not classify the prophet as liars and ignore the prophecy, for we may cause ourselves destruction through belief in the devil instead of belief in the God of righteousness. There is no equal of the mother plane. This is the reason why she is called the mother plane. The mother plane is made for the purpose of destroying the present world. She has no equal. Do not be surprised at the make of this plane, since it is from the God who made the universe a floating planet and stars which are supported only by the power of Allah and their rotation and their orbits. Allah God came in the person of Master Falah Muhammad, doing praise or do forever, taught me that the mother plane is like a human-made planet. It's not simple for Allah God to make a new planet if he wants to. The mother plane is capable of staying out of the Earth's gravity for a whole year. She is capable of producing her own oxygen and hydrogen as any other planet is able to do. The mother plane carrying the same type of bombs that her black scientists dropped on the planet Earth to bring up mountains out of the Earth after the planet Earth was created. The knowledge how to do this had not been given to the world right race, nor will they ever get this kind of knowledge. The knowledge of the world is limited. If the devil would get this kind of knowledge, we could just say that we are goers. However, they are not able to attain this kind of knowledge. What does a 6-day old baby right race look like trying to complete with a 6-year-old child, black nation? For the 6-year-old child can run all out in the yard and play. He can eat solid food. The power of the 6-day-old baby is limited. The knowledge and power of this world, life, white race is limited. The world of the white man was made from what he found and what he has seen and learned it from the work of the original black man. The white race is far from being able the equal of the power and wisdom of the original black man. The mother plane in her work is a display of the power of the mightiest God, Master Falad Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever. Master Falad Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever, is the wisest and best knower. He is the mightiest of them all. Oh, well, said the prophet Ezekiel, she was so high up in the sky that she looks dreadful. She is capable of staying away from you, plan the destruction of her. She is capable of confusing you who would try to reach her with your means of destruction. There are scientists on the meta plane who knows what you are thinking about before the thought materialized the Holy Quran's Surah 50:16. Therefore, it is impossible to try to attack the mother plane. She can attack you, but you can attack her. The mother plane can hide behind stars and make herself invisible to the eyes because she doesn't have to wait on a power from the earth. She can produce her own power to go wherever she desires to go in space. The mother plane is not like your little bullets or cameras, which are powered by your limited powers. The Bible prophesies that today Allah God wished to be made known to us, that He is God. He wished to be respected as God. He wished all life in the universe to know that He is the greatest. Muslims recognize Allah God to be the greatest. He always repeat, you are the greatest. There is no God like unto you. None deserve to be served or worshipped besides you. Almighty will, I repeat, that there is plenty significance to make of the mother plane. There is much to the course operation of her work. Space here in this book is limited, but what Allah God taught me concerning the mother plane can be put into book forms. O will make to rock the earth and to heap up mountains upon the earth. O will destroyer of nation. No wonder the prophet Isaiah prophesied it, that the earth shall read to unfold like a drunkard. The Bible, Isaiah 24:20. And let us seek refuge in Allah God from the destructive works to come from this mother of plains, the decision. The Holy Quran, Surah 78, verse 2, of the tremendous announcement, the day of decision. We are now living in a time in which we must decide on what shall we do. It is very important that we arrive at a solution, come to a defined agreement. You black men of America are holding back your decision. You are waiting because of the people who have brought this their decision to us by the way of rule. The rule is in a way of injustice. Now the God of justice is before us. We must decide upon whether or not we will accept a change of rulers, remain under the present rule that is passing from the scene. We must decide rightly in order to relieve the people of pressure, of injustice. Let our decision be for the benefits of our present and our future generation. We have no objection to that person who makes up his mind to remain in what he is already in. However, this announcement of great importance is laid before you and me so that we may come to some kind of decision, agreement on what we shall do about the truth of this announcement. The announcement is the truth. It is asking us to decide on whether or not we are going to accept the truth, remain in falsehood. It is called the day of decision. Decide this day which God you shall serve, the God of freedom, justice, and equality, or the old same wicked God who rule Allah God is here to bring an end to. The ruler veiled the eyes of the people with falsehood, so that the people may take falsehood for truth and truth for falsehood. This is what the Bible and Holy Quran teach us All of the important announcement made by the prophet from Moses to the present day, enemy of truth had deceived the people, made the people think that they was listening to falsehood. They made the people think that the prophet and his God was too weak to prevail over falsehood with truth. What is said here in his writing is directed to the black man in America. He is the real one who must decide on whether or not to remain in where he is in, or accept a better world that is ruled by the God of freedom, justice, and equality. My black brothers, I want you to know that you are in a pitiful condition here in this day in which the announcement is being made to you to make up your mind about what you are going to do. In plain words, I wish to write here and tell you that you do not have a long time which to decide on what you want to do. Thinking that you have a long time to decide is a mistake that people made in the past. Noah's people, Lot's people, was the losers for ignoring the announcement from these worthy prophets. They waited for they thought that what they had was going to continue to be. We here in America do not have to wait and see, for America is falling up under divine chastisement and destruction taking place before your and my eyes. Also, the Bible and Holy Quran prophesies of these days and what is going on. These days are the days of judgment of Allah, God against the wicked. To see more may means the end of your life and my life as it was with the people of Noah and Lot who were to see more. They could not come to the decisive point of agreement. They waited, and maybe you too will wait. To wait for the truth to be fulfilled means that we will suffer the consequences of the truth for not accepting the truth. The day of decision. As there was opponents of the prophet in the past, we have opponents of the prophet in this modern time. With all of the warning that was given before these days, we can make our decision so easily. Remember, the people of Noah had no prophets nor scriptures before Noah. Again, remember that even as late as the time of Moses, people of Moses, the Israelite, had no previous scriptures before Moses. You black brothers are better off. You have all the scriptures that was given to the prophet throughout the whole 6,000 years of the white man on the planet Earth. And then you will be so foolishly as to delay in making a good decision until you see something happen. As the Holy Quran and Bible teach us, till you see the angels coming in a cloud of heaven, before you make up your mind. But still, you probably will reject that. Surely it will not come in a cloud of heaven. But as the Holy Quran teaches you, it will not be a good day for you who have waited for such time. When angels come in a cloud of heaven, they will not be coming to do anything like preaching or giving you further knowledge. It is prophesied during the day of judgment. The angel will come to execute judgment on you for not believing, to save those who do believe. The preachers, the messengers, is the first to be judged. The angels come to execute judgment on those who did not believe the message. Angels in a time of lack are a good warning to you today. Those people was lost. Angels came to execute judgment on opponents and disbelievers alive in the city of the plain where he was living. The day of decision only means the resurrection and judgment of the present world, as Jesus prophesied as it was in the days of Noah, Abraham, and Lot. So will it be today. There was eating, drinking, and having a good time, as they call it. But it's not a good time. It's a wicked time. The history teaches us that by waiting, there was the losers. But yet, it will be the same today. It is the same, for it's going on now. You are rejecting this truth. You are accepting falsehood instead. Naturally, the enemy of truth is angry with the bearers of truth, because by nature, the enemy was not made of truth. He was made of falsehood. But again, the Bible teaches that whosoever believes the same shall be saved. This is truth. whether he is white or black. If a white man, woman, boy, or girl believe, even though by nature they are not the real righteous, their faith will get them out of the hell that Allah God threatened this world with. Their time will be prolonged. I'm sure that you know this. They also know this. A rennet of them will escape if they have the faith in Allah God and the religion of Islam. And Jesus prophesies in the Bible that even though enemy give one of his least ones, a believer, a drink of water, and that be an act of goodness, God will not deprive the act of goodness of his reward. Make up your mind. Come to a right decision. I warn you. When shall all these things come? Now Jesus prophesies that when we see the fulfillment of the prophecy of this time, then we shall know by such acts of the people, strange actions that we have never witnessed before, carried on by the people. Know that the end is near, even at the door. The Bible prophesies in Daniel and Matthew, saying that this is a time the man has never seen before. A man will never see such time again after this time. Strange happening. The prophecy of Jesus says that parents will be against children. Children will be against parents. Do you not see these things being fulfilled today, right in our eyes? Not only are parents against children, children are against parents. Parents are murdering their children, and children are murdering their parents. In some families, the parents kill their children, and then they commit suicide themselves. See, this is going on today in this old USA, where the gospel of Jesus is preached every hour of the day, somewhere in the land. In this time in which we are now living, there is no respect for dignity. President leaving the country to travel far and meet with rulers of foreign country to discuss the strange things that are happening, the strange things that will happen between the nations. The beautiful, rich country of America, to which many people of Europe and Asia migrated, seeking refuge in this country as the prophet is now coming into fulfillment. In that day and time, everyone will begin to go away from white America instead of coming to white America. As the Revelation Bible teach us of the prophecy that they will stand far off and see the fire for America burning. For fear of it, they will lift up their hands and their voices and they will lament for her. America trade is cut off and all of her delicates, delicious things that she used to have in trades. It is all gone. 1 hour, one day, it came to pass here in a Western hemisphere. The most wicked people who ever live on the earth are in the Western hemisphere. As the Bible teaches us, that God says that to him, this is like Solomon and Gomorrah. He allowed, God did say that the wickedness of the day of Noah and his people and Lot's and his people, the Stalemites, was no more than child's play compared to this wickedness of today. For they are highly educated. They are scientists at making wickedness for themselves. Day and night, up and down the streets, people are killing, murdering each other. We do not know very much about what is going on in Europe, but we do see it right here in this city of Chicago, Illinois. The radio and television announce to the public that murdering, killing are taking place continually. When shall you see all things? Today there's great disrespect of one another. Mother and her daughters are walking the streets in shame to the public of decent-minded people. They are throwing their clothes aside from their body, trying to keep nothing covered but their shame. Some barely cover their shame. as it was in the days of Noah and Lot, so shall it be in the days of the coming of the Son of Man. The Son of Man come to judge man and mankind. The days have come. As Daniel prophesies, Daniel 9:26 and 27. To the end, the war, desolation are determined. And for the overspreading of abomination, he shall make it desolate, even until the consummation that are determined it shall be poured upon the desolate. Just think about it at the end of the war, desolation. So that put in the hope of those who expect to see a great boost of prosperity after the war. In the days of Noah, the children of the Sodomites came out happy that morning, and that was the end. They saw a cloud making up. They just considered that it was a regular rain cloud, but that was the end. And the Bible prophecy of Jesus, Matthew 24:38 and 39. For as in the days that was before the flood, there was eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage, until the day that Noah entered into the ark, and knew not until the flood came and took them all away. In the time of Noah, the people of Noah was having parties as you are doing today, and that day was the end. In the time of Sodom and Gomorrah, they were so wicked that they was willing to go to war with the angels in the house of Lot. The Sodomites attacked the angels of God with power to destroy the Sodomites almost instantly. The Sodomites warned that they had been watching the angels visit the house of Lot. Now God has been visiting and watching the house of America, been watching Hollywood so long. Hollywood is another Sodom and Gomorrah. That's why it is what it is. The day of the Lord is near. And see, just like he warns America over and over, but she still don't take heed of the warning. So now a terrible time is gradually approaching upon us. A time so terrible until it will make children's grave head. The Holy Quran teach us. The Bible teach us there will be a time never witnessed by man, and there will be such time and thereafter. It's a great time that day and night storms are coming in from the country. The Holy Quran prophesies a disaster one right after another. This we are witnessing with our own eyes. Oh, America. Oh, America. Where shall you flee? The Holy Quran teach us, black men, to take refuge in Allah. Today people laugh at you if you invite them to do righteousness. They make mock of you doing right. So did the people of Noah and Lot, as it is said so beautiful in Jesus' prophecy. So shall it be in the days of the coming of the Son of Man. When shall you see all these things that now you see, know that is here? We are living in the end. My black people, I said, fly to our Lord God for refuge and come follow me. I may look weak, but through me you'll find refuge in Allah God. The judgment is near. Everywhere that we look and everything that we can think about marks the end of this world. There was never a time in the history of the United States of America that the president goes out to try to visit the heads of all of the nation that seemed to be somewhat his equal. He is like a criminal who hath committed a crime in hope for mercy from whom he hath committed the crime against. We cannot escape our doom when it comes to teaching the Holy Quran and the Bible. They show no mercy at all. to the black slave. They treated the black slave worse than any human being had ever been treated. They continue to do so in the face of this divine judgment. Remind you of the parable of the rich man and the poor man. As long as the rich man enjoyed luxury, cared nothing about luxury for his slave Lazarus. Then at last the rich man flew into poverty, unable to get help even for himself. The Bible says of this poor black slave that none helped them. Now the rich man gets in the place of his one slave. The rich man can witness how it feels to be a poor man. Bear with me for a second, you guys. As you see, the rich man can witness how it feels to be a poor man. The parable said, at last we see the rich man died, and hell he lifted up his eyes. He saw a slave in a blossom Abraham in heaven that the slave had been promised that he would get into. See how important to get into heaven? Because the rich man is not going to get to heaven. So there's no heaven waiting for a right race of people. When will they decide to do the right thing? One basic principle. See, when there's so much blood here, so much ransom, they owe us. And they not talking about restitution. But just think about what your forefathers went through, what your ancestors went through. Bloodshed. How would you think that America being so far where she at if it wasn't for the black man, if it wasn't for our ancestors and our forefathers made a way, saved the independency, but yet black blood was shed throughout her streets. Yeah, we went into Germany and fought Germany. Yes, we went into the Philippines and Mexico. Yes, we went into Japan and fought the Japanese. But black people blood was shed through the streets. And all this time we gave comfort. And that she had all the luxurious things that man can buy. And that's his freedom. So when I say this to you, a country cannot be said to be these white men's own. But you see, after taking it, the land from the native Indians who had the independent claim called the present country of America. So the Bible said, as thou hast done, so shall it be done to you. Luke 6:31 says, do to others as you want them to do to you. I say this again, do to others as you want them to do to you. So the Bible says, as thou hast done, so shall be done to you. So at some point, she's going to rally. She's going to have a good time. To all of a sudden, when the skies starting to set. And when the skies start to dark, and when rain comes, and more rain, and that tons, millions of tons of water is going to drop into the Nile rivers, into the seashore. And it's coming, brothers and sisters, an area where most of you may live. One disaster after another. As you think she's going to get over, you're going to see made by previous disaster. Another one will come to strike. You know, I hate to be so blunt to you. But yeah, I could say America got good oceans. But what's going to happen in the next year and couple of years? See, this is why I always say you don't have 20, 15 years in the future. Because the fall you see can be within a few days. These pledges are boiling. And as you see, everything you see is in process. God don't put nothing on delay. God, hear me. God don't put nothing on delay. Especially on the oppressor. You gotta understand what the opposition is here to do. America put up this consent. They put up this propaganda, lie to the people. And you go for it. You know, when I seen what Trump and Musk want to do, we segregate America. But who they want to resegregate? Black folks. He's talking about making America great again. But he wants to resegregate America. That's why I don't take Trump serious. He's a joke. He's a clown. And everybody realizing and waking up seeing what he is. A clown. And nobody take him serious. So the judgment, brothers, is near. And why you think she got these planes hovering, showering through her skies? Isaiah 18 verse 1 says, whom to the land shadowy rings. It's referring to planes. America's being shadowed with planes that's going throughout her cities. So now the Bible says of this poor black slave that none helped them. Now the rich gets in the place of his one slave. You see, the rich man can witness how it feels to be a poor man. Now the parable said at last, you see, the rich man died. You see, he lifted up his eyes and he saw his slave and a blossom Abraham and the heaven that the slave had been promised that he would get into was such a beautiful heaven that the poor slave was lolling around in. See, the rich man cried out to the slave to share hell with him. He asked the slave to bring him a drop of water in hell. He knew that if the slave tried to get to heaven with a drop of water, the slave would never get to heaven. The rich man would be happy if he received a drop of water to ease his pain and torment. But the slave could not come to him with a drop of water and go to some of the rich man's brother, who the rich man knew was bound to get a taste of the same hell that the rich man was in. The rich man says, Father Abraham, if you will not let Lazarus come to me, then send him to my brothers. In words to say, they are bound to get hell too. So I said to you, the time is not far. The parable is now in the working. I said to you, my black brothers, Lazarus tried to stay in the blossom of Abraham, because no man came to us, as the Bible teaches us. No man came to the poor, Lazarus, lost found. No one aided him. Have been begging for help to borrow money, saying that we would give the extreme interest. No one have come to our aid yet. The white man has tried to prevent everyone who would give us a little help. So Allah God came to help us from ourselves. May Allah God bless us to do His will and bless us to please Him. For Allah God's the only help that we have. Now you gotta understand, brothers, God is the only help that we have. A deliverer is coming to deliver. And He's the only hope that we have in these times we are in. Whether you believe me or not, whether you want to hear it or not. But He's the only one we have in our defense. And He will fight